ChatGPT is something that you can use in many ways. உங்களுக்கு creative toolsல Midjourney னு ஒரு tool இருக்கு. Video toolsல HeyGen ஒரு tool இருக்கு. You can use HeyGen. The AI revolution is probably going to create the maximum number of entrepreneurs the world has seen. Today, if you look at India as a market, you have more than 70% of your audiences between YouTube and Meta, right? And both these channels, for example, have a very strong analytics and audience segmentation systems, right? I'll tell you something that might surprise you. Okay. India is a very complex market. இங்க வந்து நீங்க கிராக் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, இந்த மார்க்கெட்டை கிராக் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, நீங்க
நேச்சுரல்ஸ் அண்ட் மேஜிக் 20 தமிழ் பிரசன்ஸ் மேஜிக் பெண்கள் சீரீஸ்க்கு வரவேற்கிறது நான் உங்கள் விஜய் கண்மணி. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கூட கான்வர்சேஷனில் டிவியோ ஃபவுண்டர் அண்ட் சிஇஓ சௌமியா தான் இணைஞ்சிருக்காங்க. ஹாய் மேம், எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
வெரி வெல், தேங்க்யூ.
மேம், ஒரு தமிழ் பொண்ணு இங்கே வந்து நார்த் இந்தியா அந்த மாதிரிலாம் இல்லை, ஓவரால் குளோபலாகவே ஒரு மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஏஜென்சி ரன் பண்ணிட்டு வரீங்க. ஸோ இட்ஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் அ வெரி ப்ரவுட் மூமெண்ட் ஃபார் அஸ். ஸோ இதுதான் நம்ம இந்த பாட்காஸ்ட் ஃபுல்லாகவே பேச போகிறோம். பட் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி எப்படி இந்த டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன் நடந்துச்சு, எப்படி இந்த ஃபீல்டுக்குள்ளே வந்தீங்க, அதை பற்றிலேருந்து பேசலாம்.
When I started, I told my father I wanted to study English literature and technology together. அவருக்கு புரியல ஏன் இப்படி சொல்றா இவ, she has to be an engineer or a doctor or she should at least study finance அப்படின்னு ஒரு எனக்கு ஃபீட்பேக் கிடைச்சது. But to just break that template that we all live with, somehow I had taken it upon myself to say that I will drive my life and my career the way I want it.
Okay.
So that's how the journey started. So I was running, I decided to do a lot of things as I was studying in order to gain a lot of experience. So, they usually say, I think they famously say that you should try and do as many things as possible
in
the
early
age
20s.
of 25,
exactly.
So that you get a sense of what you want to do in life. So I've run a .com portal. I've run an engineering services company. I have also run a weekly video magazine, like a production
எல்லாமே ட்ரை பண்ணிடுவோம்.
எல்லாம் ட்ரை பண்ணிட்டு then by the age of 22, I had experience in creative, I had experience in technology. I understood digital very well because in the early stages I had run a .com portal as well.
Okay.
So all those
early 20s.
All of this experience was between the age of 17 and 22.
Okay, in early 2000.
This would be early 2000. Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Early technology வந்து புதுசு.
Yeah. So early 2000. From 2000, this whole journey was between 2001 and 2005.
Okay.
So that is sort of how the early days of my life looked. And then when it was time for me to begin this journey, for me, I took the best of what I knew by then. Creative, digital, and technology. So that's how this came together for me to start DVO. So it was a very organic journey. It came from whatever I really love to do. And like I said, because I knew technology and digital and creative in equal parts, at the foundation itself, this became like a marketing company led by technology and creative.
அதுவே ஒரு டேக்லைன் மாதிரி.
Correct.
ஓகே. பட் நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி மேம், இப்போ ஏர்லி 2000 நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறோம். அதுக்குமே லைக் ஆஃப்டர் கோவிடுமே பெரிய ஒரு வைட் ரேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் ஒரு என்ன சொல்கிறது அப்ஸ் அண்ட் டவுன்ஸுமே நம்ம சொல்லலாம். ஸோ எப்படி அந்த மார்க்கெட் பிளேஸ் பார்க்குறீங்க? இப்போ டெக்னாலஜி மேக்ஸ் மோர் ஆஃப் அ சென்ஸ். டெக்னாலஜி ஃபுல்லாகவே பிஸ்னஸே டெக்னாலஜி மூலியமாக தான் ரன் ஆகுது. ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் பிஸ்னஸ்மே வந்து நம்ம டெக்னாலஜி மூலியமாக தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். தென் இப்போ ஏஐன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அடுத்தடுத்து வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கு. ஸோ இந்த டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன் நீங்கள் எப்படி பார்க்குறீங்க?
ஸோ இது வரைக்கும் வந்து டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்து வாஸ் அ வெரி கிராஜுவல் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன். ஸோ இஃப் யூ see intervention of technology would be okay. Mobile phone, 4G, 5G, all of these technologies were incremental technologies, according to me. So and then most of whatever we have experienced as far as our technology environment is concerned is primarily led by what you call as Web 2. Okay. Web 2 na ninga website la ipo poi YouTube la pathana illati images, when you go to any website, most of your experience is primarily just 2D. Right? You're not in an immersive environment, etc. Right? And right now, Web 2 technology enna Facebook, Instagram, Google, all of these organizations centralize your data in one place, right? So we are moving from that era to a decentralized era. So Web3 technology. So without getting too technical about this whole thing, the point is with AI and with Web3, the kind of change that we are going to see is not incremental change. Okay, it's going to be an enormous change. So what probably changed in the last 20 years, we will see that changing in the next 2 years.
Yes.
Right? And the change is already very, very evident with the way you're seeing progress with respect to AI. So one of the things that really worked for us as I started the company was that while we were primarily a digital first or digital led marketing and technology company,
அதுவே உங்களுக்கு ஒரு லீடா அமைஞ்சிரும்.
அது ஒரு லீடா அமைஞ்சி மெயினா எது எனக்கு advantage DVO was that I invested in a lot of startups early.
Okay.
And these were technology startups. Why? Because I was always curious about what's coming up in the market next. So I decided to invest in these technologies in a way that these technology platforms can support my core business, right? Which actually gave me a huge edge because I was always at the forefront of what's coming up.
Okay.
Right? So that is how, I invested in data and analytics companies, invested in a content tech company, in a video tech company. In the Mari, all of these companies which could basically come back and integrate with my core service line, which I could then take to my clients, is how I did this journey. So for us now, where we are is, while we are running a digital first marketing company, that's a foundational business, but we diversified into data and data analytics and insights business, and we also then further diversified into AI transformation business. Because ipo enna pathina, almost all businesses that in today, traditional businesses and even the new age businesses, everybody needs to adopt to AI.
Yes.
But fundamental and foundational to AI is data within your organization. Right? So Mukkavasi, you'll see most of the organizations have very fragmented data ecosystem. Ella silos irukum. Take an FMCG company for that matter. Okay, they will be sitting on data, but it'll all be in silos. Right? Or let's take, for example, a retail company. They'll all their data, their marketing data will be sitting in a silo from, let us say, their sales data will be sitting in a silo from their ERP data. Right? So for any AI to work, build efficiency within your organization, you need to bring all the data in one place and structure it in a way that you build some level of business intelligence on it, and only then AI will work. So I saw a huge opportunity. While we were initially a digital marketing company, we continue to do a lot of marketing and technology work. That's our foundational business. We run this business in 6 countries. Okay, with almost 300 people. But along with that, I saw that just helping businesses grow on the market side was not enough. It was equally important to help businesses transform on the business operations side as well.
Okay, can you elaborate a bit more of it?
Yeah, so basically what we were doing fundamentally we were helping businesses grow on the market acquisition. Marketing. So for example, in FMCG company now, we will take you to the market, we'll use digital platforms, we'll advertise for you, we'll use e-commerce, we'll use quick commerce, we will help you grow your business using marketing. Right? But that's on the market acquisition side. Correct? இப்போ வந்து நீங்க உங்க ஆபரேஷன்ஸ், உங்க பிசினஸ் ஆபரேஷன்ஸ் எப்படி எஃபிஷியன்ட்லி நடத்துறீங்க, ரைட்? தட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ ஈக்குவலி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். பிகாஸ் தட் வில் ஹெல்ப் யூ இம்ப்ரூவ் யுவர் பாட்டம் லைன். ரைட்? இஃப் யூ யூஸ் டெக்னாலஜி அப்ரோப்ரியேட்லி.
அதுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுக்க முடியுமா?
எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுக்க முடியும்னா, ஓகே, now for example, let's say that you do quality checks manually. Okay. Manually quality checks பண்றதுக்கு you'll take X amount of time. Let's say you take computer vision and use computer vision to do the quality check. You're improving your efficiency many times over. Because it's happening much faster than what a manual process will be. Right? So it's simple use of technology.
Saves manpower, saves energy, and everything is
exactly right. And saves time, most importantly. Right? It saves time most importantly. So that's one way of using technology in your business operations. Right now, let's say large organizations will be working with, will be serving so many customers worldwide, right? But do you have a singular place where you know everything about your customer? Right? Do you know about what your customer is buying from you, what your customer's preferences are, at what frequency the customer is buying from you? Right? So all of that data actually exists in some form. It may or may not be captured. So how do you capture that data in a way that you can improve the customer's experience by communicating appropriately to that customer? Is a part of how you build your business operations,
like survey
right?
எடுக்கிற மாதிரி.
So right from procurement of like if you to manufacture something you need to procure,
Okay.
to sell something you need to procure, right? Right from efficiently procuring to efficiently manufacturing to efficiently taking your business to market, technology, AI can be applied at every step of the way. Okay, that's how you improve the efficiency of your business. So building efficiency of your business using AI and helping businesses acquire more market share, this goes in tandem. Right, so it's growth on both sides. It's growth on the marketing side and it's growth on the business operations side. So we're doing the entire value funnel.
மேம், ஏஐ பற்றி நம்ம பேசிட்டு இருந்தோம். இப்போ ஃபுல்லாகவே டாக் ஆஃப் த டவுன் ஏஐ தான். ஆனால் ஒரு லேமேன் டேர்முக்கு இப்போ ஒரு புரிதல் என்னவா இருக்குன்னா, இப்போ நம்ம ஒரு இமேஜ் கொடுத்தோம்னா அதை வந்து ஏஐ வந்து மாற்றி கொடுத்துரும், இல்லைனா வந்து ஒரு சாட் ஜிடிபி இந்த மாதிரி குட்டி குட்டி டூல்ஸ் தான் வச்சிருக்காங்களே, அவங்களால ப்ராடர் ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ல யோசிக்க முடியல. ஒரு பிஸ்னஸாக ஏஐ வந்து எவ்வளோ ஒரு பவர்ஃபுல்னு தெரிய மாட்டுது. ஸோ எவ்வளோ பவர்ஃபுல், அதை பற்றி சொல்ல முடியுமா?
Okay, so what is AI doing for us today? AI என்ன பண்ணுறதுன்னா, past data, எந்த டேட்டா அவைலபிளாக இருந்தோ, like billions of data is available today, right? Like it's massive data is available. So what AI does is it takes all of that and processes that data at a speed that no human brain can. Okay, so ipo pathina ungalku you will have creative LLMs, large language models. Okay, you will have video LLMs. So you also have many video tools which are producing AI output for you. You will have content LLMs, right? So essentially text, video, image LLMs are the most used today by common people, correct? Now what it's doing is that it's learning on large sets of data and it is through the prompts that you give it, it's producing that content at a fraction in very, very less time. Okay. So essentially what it's doing is it's helping you build efficiency within whatever work you're doing, right? From like we are all using AI in some way or the other. Ninga email eduthu ungalku AI assistance irukku, ungalku thinking pandradhukku it works like your support system, right? Like when you're thinking on a particular subject, you want to research something,
நீங்க அந்த கண்டென்ட் ஃபுல்லாவே குலுமெண்டிவா நம்ம ஒரு செக்டார்ல எடுத்துட்டு வரதுக்குமே ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு.
Exactly, right? அதுக்கப்புறம் இப்போ வந்து as an advertising agency also one of the things that we used to do is photo shoots நிறைய பண்ணுவோம் நாங்க. Okay, right? Photo shoots பண்ணுவோம். ஏன்னா when you want to sell a product or you have models, your photo shoots, அது கூட இப்போ entirely is done by AI. So you don't need to do any production anymore, right? Like you can basically just maybe you can just feed it some product images and then you can prompt it in terms of what kind of creative. So Amway ஒரு client இருக்காங்க. அவனோட first time in the entire history of Amway, we launched an entire campaign using AI for them, like a new brand of artistry or a campaign just launched on Monday. Okay, so that whole process of building campaigns, creatives, videos using AI has reduced time to 1/10 of the time or maybe even lesser. Okay, for the amount of time. So the only thing that you need to know in the age of AI is prompt engineering. Okay, right? Prompt is how to use the AI tool, what kind of prompts to give the AI tool in a way that it gives you an output that is closest to what you desire. Okay, right? That's a real skill for us to have. Okay. So these are all LLMs, okay, which you are using for your daily work. Now the fundamental thing is it processes massive amounts of data, can create an output for you based on prompts. Okay, right? And it can also serve you in terms of doing predictive analysis. Okay, it can also take past trends and project it into the future. Okay, right? So that also is another very interesting use case of AI. Okay. So இந்த மாதிரி டூல்ஸ் நீங்க உங்க பிசினஸ்ல அப்ளை பண்ணானா உங்க business operations will work very, very efficiently. Okay, right? So the point is that you now know the power of AI. How can you customize it to the operations of your business? Okay, whether it is procurement, supply chain, marketing, customer management, CRM, whatever it might be.
Okay, ma'am. இப்போ வந்து நிறைய சோலோப்ரனர்ஸ் தான் வந்து ரொம்பவே ஒரு பீக்கில் இருக்காங்க. பிகாஸ் எல்லா வேலையுமே அவங்களே பார்க்குறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ அப்படி இருக்கிறப்ப ஆஸ் ஐ செட் பிஸ்னஸ்னாலே இப்போ வந்து சோஷியல் மீடியாவில் தான் நம்ம பாதி பிஸ்னஸ் அப்படி தான் நம்ம நடக்குது. ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு நீங்கள் மார்க்கெட்டிங் ரன் பண்ணணும்னா மேபி தீஸ் ஆர் த ஏஐ டூல்ஸ், இது இன்னுமே உங்கள் வேலையை ஒரு எஃபிஷியன்ஸாக ஆக்கும்னா அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற ஒரு ஏஐ டூல் சொல்ல முடியுமா? ஒரு 3 to 5.
ChatGPT is something that you can use in many ways. உங்களுக்கு creative toolsல Midjourney னு ஒரு tool இருக்கு. Video toolsல HeyGen ஒரு tool இருக்கு. You can use HeyGen. அது தவிர்த்த then you can also use Gemini. Gemini is also a very interesting tool because Gemini learns on Google, right? So for marketing that tends to be a lot more relevant for us. But like as we speak, every week pudu tools vandrukku, you know. So and then there are tools for almost everything now. Like, you know, you can think about it and there would be somebody who would have built a tool for that, right?
Okay.
So you can actually, there'll be a lot of websites that where you can keep updated about you know, what the new tools launch are.
Okay.
So these would be the top 4 or 5 from a creative standpoint. And see, since you spoke about solopreneurs, right? Like, I also feel in this age of AI, it's very, I see that the trend will go to a place where people will not be working for companies. People will be working for themselves.
Yes.
You know, so I see
actually the trend is starting.
Already started, right? So everybody will be an ecosystem in themselves.
Okay.
Right? Everybody will have all the tools and technologies
no need
around
to
them.
Startup ecosystem and all building
They'll
that.
be exactly, you know, there'll be a tool or technology in themselves. I mean, they'll have an ecosystem in themselves and they'll all be entrepreneurs in their own right. So really the way I see this is like the AI revolution is probably going to create the maximum number of entrepreneurs the world has seen.
Okay. ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம கம்மிங் பேக் டு யோர் ஜேர்னி, இப்போ என்ன, இப்போ எல்லாருக்குமே வந்து டிஜிட்டல் மார்க்கெட்டிங் அது எல்லாமே தெரியும். நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி தான் ஏஐ டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேட்டிவ் மார்க்கெட்டிங் நீங்கள் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறீங்க. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் ஒரு ஸ்டெப் ஆயிட் லைக் வெளிலேருந்து பார்க்குறப்ப இப்போது ஒரு பிட்ச் நம்மளுக்கு நடக்கும், அதுலேருந்து நம்ம அப்ரூவல் கிடைக்கணும், அண்ட் த எண்ட் நம்ம ஏதாவது கேம்பெயின் ரன் பண்ணுவோம், தென் த அவுட்கம் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். ஸோ இந்த என்டையர் ஜேர்னியை ஒரு ரோட் மேப் மாதிரி சொல்ல முடியுமா? How do you start with the pitching and the final outcome?
Okay, for startup, I think the most important thing is to get your business model right, which means modala or MVP establish pannunga. Okay, whatever it is, yeah. So you get your business model right. You run a few you know, cases, or let's say you start off in a way that you start clocking your first few revenue.
Okay.
You know, you start clocking your revenue initially. Once you start bringing in the revenue, you will learn more about the product. Okay. Get your first few clients. The question is how to get your first few clients. Getting your first few clients, there is, you'll of course, the first port of call for your first few clients is people you know. Okay, use your network. Your network is your net worth. Okay, so use your network because they'll be the ones who will trust you sooner, and you'll be able to build some case in the beginning before you move to the market.
Or testimonials mari namak create.
Exactly. Okay, adana appo then let's say that you've established everything. You know, you've established the value, the reason to be. You know, as a business. Then you move to then you define your ICP. Who's your ideal customer profile? Okay, so you define your ICP. Once you've defined, and none of this is set in stone, by the way, it can even be an evolving process, right? So once you've defined your ICP, today, if you look at India as a market, you have more than 70% of your audiences between YouTube and Meta, right? And both these channels, for example, have a very strong analytics and audience segmentation systems, right? Because of which you can use between LinkedIn, Meta and YouTube, you'll have very advanced targeting possibilities to target your ICP. Okay, so take some experimentative budget and deploy that using smart communication. See, I think as a startup, I was speaking at a conference yesterday and I said that as a startup, your biggest asset is yourself. Okay, so use the founder's voice to speak about your product. So that itself should become your creative.
Like your personal branding.
Yeah, it's not personal branding, but you become the face of your product. Because if you see some of the new age products which have become brands, you see the founder is the face of the product, right? So become the face of the product and speak about your product, because nobody else can speak about your product. No advertising can speak about your product like the way you do, because you're passionate about it.
And it also builds trust.
It builds trust and credibility, exactly, right? So create those assets where you're speaking about the product and establishing your value proposition. And then experiment with your ICP and advertising targeting your ICP between these platforms. Learn quickly, from the responses that you get, what are customers looking for, is your product serving those customers, do as many conversations as possible, sharpen your product or your offering or your solution.
Okay.
Once you have done that and you've got few more clients from the market, then you know you are at a place where you can scale. Okay, but what's also important as you do that is that I'm a big believer in profitability. Okay, so make sure whatever you're doing, you're able to establish a clear case for profitability.
Okay.
Because nowadays in the startup ecosystem, as you know, you can go raise money and burn it in marketing. You should know the hard work that you require to do to make a business profitable.
Okay.
Because going and acquiring customers and burning money is the simplest thing to do. But if you've not established the foundational model where you can actually be profitable, then this, then the whole foundation of your business is not correct.
Okay.
So first establish the business profitably, then you invest more and more money in marketing to acquire more customers.
Okay.
And as you do that, make sure that your operations engine is strong enough and you're building the operations engine equally in order to serve the demand that you are bringing in from the market.
Okay.
Right? So from a marketing standpoint, initially it's best to become the face of your brand, explain the RTBs, the reason to believe, or the USP of your brand, explain the brand in your own voice.
Okay.
Once you get to acquire the customers, then you can get into more and more sophisticated marketing. Okay, but from a channel perspective, these 3 channels give you all the audience that you need with very, very advanced technology in terms of targeting possibilities.
ஓகே மேம். இப்போ இந்தியா சம்மந்தப்பட்ட நம்ம சொல்லியிருந்தோம். அதே மாதிரி உங்களோட மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஏஜென்சியுமே வந்து ஃபஸ்ட்டு இந்தியாவில் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆச்சு இன் பூனே, இஃப் ஐம் நாட் கரெக்ட். ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறம் துபாய் ஆகட்டும், ஈஸ்ட் ஏஷியா ஆகட்டும், யூ கைண்ட் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்டெண்டட் இட் டுவார்ட்ஸ் த குளோப். ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம இந்தியாக்கே ஒரு 10 இயர்ஸ், ஒரு டெக்கேட் இல்லை 2 டெக்கேட்ஸ் இருக்கிறப்ப நிறைய வந்து ஒரு வேரியேஷன்ஸ் இருக்கிறப்போ, இப்போ மற்ற குளோபலி நம்ம சொல்கிறப்போ ஒருத்தவங்களும் ஒரு ஆடியன்ஸ், அவங்களோட கல்ச்சுரல் நார்ம்ஸ் வந்து வேறு வேறையாக இருக்கும். ஸோ ஹவு டு யூ செல் அ ப்ராடக்ட் in case of branding? எப்படி அதை கொண்டு போறீங்க?
I'll tell you something that might surprise you.
Okay.
India is a very complex market. இங்க வந்து நீங்க கிராக் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, இந்த மார்க்கெட்டை கிராக் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, நீங்க வேர்ல்ட்ல எந்த மார்க்கெட்டும் கிராக் பண்ணலாம்.
Yeah, the complex marketing, maybe
it's complex market because we are a country, we are multiple countries within one country.
Okay, diversified.
Yeah, we are extremely diverse. We are not a homogeneous country, right? So within us, we have so many different targeting segments available to us, right?
Okay,
most of the other countries are fairly homogeneous.
Okay.
Right? இங்க உங்களுக்கு language targeting இருக்கு, உங்களுக்கு socio economic targeting பண்ணோம், உங்களுக்கு preference targeting பண்ணோம். So and we are a land of 1 billion people, right? So targeting this, being able to market to this scale, requires a certain kind of marketing maturity and operations maturity. In the market நீங்க crack பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, any other market is a cakewalk for you. So actually for me, it was very, after my first journey, of course the first few years were in India.
Okay.
And then I went into the Middle East, started with UAE. Okay, then we further went into Qatar, Saudi, then 2019 Southeast Asia. But while we explored all of these markets, the Middle East grew very, very quickly for us. And then there was also opportunity for us. And then I went to Harvard, which opened up many more connections and opportunities for me, which helped us then move into markets like the US, and also start off in Australia. But in all of these markets that I've seen, of course, marketing cultural nuances are different, right? Like for example, Arabic, even within Arabic, there are different dialects of Arabic, in the 3 countries that I work in, right? So for those, you need local expertise. So you have to hire that local expertise and you have to bring those people on board. That being said, the fundamentals of marketing are not different. Okay, in some countries, like Middle East, influencer marketing is far more pronounced, than in India. So those are things that you learn, along the way.
Okay.
But the genesis or the fundamentals of marketing don't change anywhere. And like I said, the complexity that India offers to you for you to learn, it's a very, very complex ecosystem that you work with, whether the channels, for example, quick commerce inga eppadi scale ஆச்சோ அந்த மாதிரி இப்போ பாக்கி எந்த கண்ட்ரிலயும் scale ஆகல. No country has that, right?
Because now there's a demand here.
Exactly. And that's also because of the density of people that you have over here, right? So இவ்ளோ கிராக் பண்ணிட்டு just cracking e-commerce in other markets is not a big deal, right? Because you've already learned that. அந்த learning curve ஆயாச்சு உங்களுக்கு. Then in fact, you're taking only a part of what you've learned here, you're taking it there, and you're still able to do very, very well over there.
Okay.
So if you crack the Indian market, trust me, cracking any other market is not a difficult game.
Okay.
Of course, you have to adapt to the cultural nuances. You need people who are local. You need to go and hire those people.
Okay.
But otherwise, foundationally, it's not difficult at all.
ஓகே. ஆக்சுவலி இப்போ நீங்கள் சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க குளோபலி நம்ம எல்லாருமே நம்ம பேசியிருந்தோம். பட் இப்போ இந்தியாவில் என்னென்ன மார்க்கெட் கேப் இன்னுமே இருக்குது, இந்த ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ்லாம் இல்லைனா as a incubator yourself என்னென்ன ஸ்டார்ட் அப்ஸ்லாம் இன்னுமே டிமாண்டில் இருக்குது இன் இந்தியா?
இப்போ if I was to just speak about what is the need of the hour today, right? Like I said, most of the companies are wanting to transform their business using AI. Correct?
Okay.
அதுக்கு வந்து முதல்ல உங்கள் ஆர்கனைசேஷனில் உங்களோட டேட்டா இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் டேட்டா கேப்சரிங் மெக்கானிசம் கரெக்டாக இருக்கணும். ஓகே, ஸோ மோஸ்ட் ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் பிஸ்னஸஸ் ஆர் நாட் ஈவன் க்ளோஸ் டு யூஸிங் ஏஐ இன் எனி வே. ஓகே, பிகாஸ் அவங்க டேட்டா இஸ் நாட் இன் த ரைட் பிளேஸ்.
ஓகே, ஸ்கேட்டர்டாக இருக்குது,
சைலோஸில் இருக்குது.
ஓகே,
இல்லை கேப்சரே ஆக மாட்டேன்றது. ஸோ த பிக்கஸ்ட் நீட், இஃப் யூ ஆஸ்க் மீ, இஸ் ஃபார் ஹெல்பிங் தீஸ் organizations go from a 0 to 1 journey on the data piece.
Okay.
So as many product solutions and services as we can get in order to expedite this journey for the organizations will be very, very useful for us right now.
Okay. அதே மாதிரி நீங்கள் சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இனிஷியல் இயர்ஸ் எனக்குமே ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருந்துச்சு. அப்புறம் தான் யூ கிரியேட்டட் அ பிராண்ட் நவ். பட் அந்த இனிஷியல் இயர்ஸ் கண்டிப்பாக வந்து ஒரு பிரேக் த்ரூ இருக்கும். ஓகே, கண்டிப்பாக நம்ம இதுக்காக தான் நம்ம இவ்வளோ கஷ்டப்பட்டிருக்கோம் போலன்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு பிரேக் த்ரூ இருக்குல்ல மேம், அதை பற்றி சொல்லுங்கள்.
இதுக்காக தான் நம்ம கஷ்டப்பட்டிருக்கோம்.
நல்ல வேலை, ஓகே, பலன் கிடச்சிருச்சு, நம்ம வந்து விட்டு போகாமல் இருக்கிறதுக்கு மாதிரி இருக்கும்.
இல்லை, அது வந்து ஐ திங்க் இட்ஸ் ஐ ஃபீல் லைக் ஓகே, ஐ சே தட் goals and purpose are two different things. Okay. Goals என்னன்னா, you typically take a target upon yourself. எனக்கு எத்தனை பிசினஸ் பண்ணணும், எத்தனை கண்ட்ரீஸ்ல எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணணும், you take a target.
Okay.
அந்த டார்கெட் அச்சீவ் பண்ண அப்புறம் அது நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன, you will go to the next goal.
நம்ம அதை வச்சுக்கிட்டே இருப்போம்.
அது கோல் போஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கும்.
Then
in chasing a goal sometimes you can tire out. Okay. The only thing that doesn't tire you is a purpose that is larger than yourself. Okay. What is the purpose? Gandhiji and the country of freedom, why he fought for the freedom and why yen jaicharna, because he put the country beyond himself, right?
Okay.
Like he had the energy to fight for the country.
Okay.
Adhe mari all of us in our own capacity can identify what is it that you value, which is beyond your self interest. Okay, so that I call as purpose. So
what's your purpose?
Yeah, so my purpose is, honestly, if I tell you when I started I knew my purpose, that's not true. I think it was a very organic journey for me to discover my purpose.
Okay.
First, of course, it all started as goals. Like I said, I wanted to, become
financial targets.
And also like to establish that a girl from a Tamil Brahmin ecosystem can actually run a business.
Yes.
And then I wanted to prove a point to most people, right?
Okay.
Adu anapro, then I said, okay, I've proven that point now. Now what is next for me? So the evolution of my purpose is, I'm a deeply spiritual person. I believe that spirituality and materialism, or spirituality and entrepreneurship can coexist. Okay. So if somebody who's successful as an entrepreneur can say that spirituality and entrepreneurship can coexist, people will believe it. Okay. So I'm as spiritual as I am transactional in business. So I personally believe that intersection of enterprise and spirituality is the way to go forward in life.
Okay.
So idu establish pandradhukku worldwide, I think my organization is a seat of experiment, or that platform through which I can take that message into the world.
Okay.
The second piece is I believe that the focus, I want to dissolve the idea of a woman entrepreneur. Why do we keep talking about women entrepreneur where the only thing that we need to talk about is entrepreneurship, right? Ipo kuda pathana, there's always this bias or this thing about man's world, women's world. I personally believe that we have come a far way from that time, and we are in an equal world, right? With equal opportunities. Of course, there are biological differences between a man and a woman, which is separate. We have roles to play in that space. But the cerebral equality now exists, I feel, at least in urban areas, right? So I think we need to be able to dissolve the conversation that we all keep having around equality for women, because I feel like it'll go down to our children and they will truly believe that we live in an unequal world, which I don't believe is the truth anymore. Because as I have built the business, I don't think I have faced any bias or I have faced any sort of hardships because I was a woman. I think
No hardships at all.
I faced the same kind of hardship any man would face. I don't think I was ever differentiated from being awarded a business. Oh, she's a woman, so I'll not award her business. No, even in some of the most conservative countries that I run a business, I am given business on my merit. Right? So I truly believe that I need to change that narrative in the world today. And that sort of is the second layer of my purpose. And the third layer of my purpose is that I believe that all of us should nature. I believe in the power of nature to bring back the natural rhythm within our bodies. So while we all are, in our corporate ecosystems and cities working and hustling all the time, we all have to find a way to retreat into the nature and work from nature. So that brings back your original rhythm, that brings back the kind of creative thinking that you otherwise don't have in your hustle and bustle of your life. So I believe in the power of nature to help create new things in the world. So as human beings, I believe that we should all find workplaces which are nestled in nature. So I'm also working towards building an ecosystem where even as we work with AI, we work from nature. So those are the three things which I'm working with, and I feel that I believe that my platform or my enterprise is is sort of the seat through which I can achieve these three things.
That's so nice, ma'am. It's really calming when you told these purposes. But the point is, when we have unmet needs, maybe it's regarding money. Mostly it's regarding money. When it comes to business, we'll be having this targets. Okay, இது நம்ம வந்து ஒரு 100 million, no, it starts with 1 million and 10 million, 100 million, நம்ம இனிமேல் டார்கெட்ஸ் வச்சுக்கிட்டே தான் இருப்போம். ஸோ அப்படி இருக்கிறப்ப இந்த பேசிக் நீட்ஸ்ன்னு இருக்குல்ல மேம், ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோன்னா ஓகே, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு காரோ இல்லைனா வந்து ஒரு வீடோ, அந்த மாதிரி அந்த பேசிக் நீட்ஸ் மீட் ஆகாதப்போ வி டோன்ட் திங்க் அபவுட் ஸ்பிரிச்சுவாலிட்டி தட் மச். இப்போ நம்ம சொல்லுவோம், இப்போ ஒரு வேளை சாப்பாட்டுக்கே வழி இல்லாமல் இருக்கிறவங்க அந்த ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் நீட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து போக மாட்டாங்க, பிகாஸ் தே டோன்ட் ஹேவ் த தாட் ப்ராசஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ இன்னுமே இந்த மணி ரிலேட்டட் பயாஸ் இருக்க தான் செய்யுது. அது ஏன் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க, அண்ட் இது எப்படி ஓவர் கம் பண்ணி வருதுன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க?
ஸோ ஓகே, let's take any one let's take one tenet of spiritualism. Okay, so one tenet would say we all as human beings live in abundance. Okay, there is a certain vibration that you emit, okay, when you are thinking in a certain way. Okay, for example, are you operating from lack or are you operating from abundance? Okay, now when you operate from lack, enkite illiye enak venume means you don't have.
Okay,
right? The moment you get into this whole space of enak venume enkite illiye, you will find more reasons to say enkite illiye. When you actually operate from okayness, saying what I have I'm grateful for, okay, what I have gratitude for,
okay,
you will see that you will attract more and more in your life versus when you say I am coming from lack. This is, let's say, one way of thinking when you're thinking spiritually.
Okay,
right? So my point is that there'll always be need for more. Okay, there'll always be need for more, and don't mistake me, I'm a big believer of having enough money. Like I believe that we'll all be happy when we have money. Okay, but the way of manifesting that money, okay, should not be from lack, but from knowing that there is enough for me in the world, and I will attract that to myself using my self expressions, which could be business.
Okay,
so you still have to go through that journey. You will have those dreams, I need my car, I need my house, but you'll get to all of that. But don't come from enkite illiye,
but you have to believe that you'll get that.
Come from it's on its way to me.
Okay,
right? And then it will come very easily. Then you'll not feel that effort.
Okay.
It's just that little shift in the mindset. From I don't have it to it's on the way. It's on its way to me.
Okay,
that's it. So that's that small shift in the way you think, which is where I say spirituality and business can intersect.
That's so nice, ma'am. Like I saw your interview 26லேயே நான் வந்து ஒரு ஸ்பிரிச்சுவாலிட்டியை நான் வந்து எம்ப்ரேஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க. ஸோ ஐ வாண்டட் டு எம்ஃபசைஸ் ஆன் தட். தென் கமிங் பேக் டு பிஸ்னஸ், நீங்கள் வந்து இப்போ இன்குபேட்டர் ரன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. அண்ட் இப்போ நிறைய ஸ்டார்ட் அப்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி இன் இந்தியாவே நம்ம எடுத்துக்கிட்டோம்னா 99 ஸ்டார்ட் அப்ஸ் ஃபெயில்ஸ், ஒன்லி 0.06 ஸ்டார்ட் அப்ஸ் இட்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி மேக் பிகம் அ யூனிகார்ன். ஸோ மற்றபடி எதுவுமே நம்ம வந்து என்னதான் இன்னோவேட்டிவ் ஐடியாஸ் இருந்தாலும் இட் ஃபெயில்ஸ். ஸோ ஆஸ் அ இன்குபேட்டர் நீங்கள் வச்சு பண்ணுறதுனால ஏன் அது வந்து ஃபெயில் ஆகுதுன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க?
So I think there are multiple reasons to that. Okay, first is most startups don't have the why of the business. Okay, as an entrepreneur, what is the most important asset that you have is your why has to be clear.
Okay,
Why are you doing what you're doing? Many entrepreneurs start a business thinking that it's a fad. Okay, and they don't realize the hardships that go behind actually building something from ground up.
okay,
Okay, or I wouldn't even call it hardship. I'll say the dynamics of building a business ground up is something that they're not prepared for. Right? Mentally prepared for. So if you have your why clear, then going through or navigating those dynamics, you have a clear reason why you're doing that, so you don't give up along the way. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why businesses fail, which is people start a business because they think it's an in thing to do, like I'm a startup entrepreneur, right? So that is point number one.
Okay,
Point number two is that you have to be able to quickly, okay, the other point is that many startups, see, startups need product and marketing, both. Okay, just having a great product will not do it for you. You need to equally know how to take it to the market.
okay,
Right? So that's why somebody, like, typically businesses that are successful are where there's a great product or a solutions guy, and then there's a great marketing person, right? So founder, co-founder, somebody who's in the market and someone who's actually looking into the product or the solution. That combination works very well.
okay,
So startups fail because you have a great product, you don't have good marketing, right? Or you only have marketing and you don't have such a good product, right? So those are some of that's the other reason why startups might fail.
okay,
The third is simply because you're not learning quickly from the market and pivoting quickly,
okay,
right? So sometimes what you think the market needs may not be what it needs,
yeah,
right? So you have to be able to learn and say, okay, you have to be very agile. Sometimes people fall in love with what they've created and they're not able to pivot
they have
quickly.
that personal attachment.
Yeah, personal attachment. So they're not able to look at it objectively and pivot,
Okay,
as per the market needs.
okay,
And sometimes they fail because they run out of funding. It's unfortunate. Sometimes you might have a great product. Okay, you may have a great solution, but the very nature of the business or the very nature of the business probably requires you to have enough money.
okay,
And that could be the other reason why it fails, because you didn't raise money at the right time to build the product.
okay,
So those are some of the reasons why it fails. It's true, but listen, I also don't look at all failures as failures. Okay, the first failure is only it's a stepping stone to success.
yeah,
Okay, so if something fails, it's okay, move on to the next thing. You've learned, you'll do it better the next time.
okay. Then when it comes to marketing, நம்ம ரீசன்ட் ட்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இல்லைனா டேட்டா எல்லாமே நம்ம எடுத்திருந்தாலுமே there should be a very vast space for creativity கண்டிப்பாக. ஸோ அதுவுமே இப்போ எல்லாருமே பார்த்தா மீடியா கிரியேட்டர்ஸ் எவ்ரிபடி இஸ் கிரியேட்டிவ் அண்ட் எம்ப்ரேசிங் த கிரியேட்டிவிட்டி ஆல்சோ. ஸோ அப்படி இருக்கிறப்ப when it comes to bigger brands, you're working with bigger brands, அப்படி இருக்கிறப்போ அந்த கிரியேட்டிவிட்டி இன்னுமே நம்ம புஷ் பண்ணி யாருமே யோசிக்காத அளவுக்கு நம்ம ஒரு விஷயத்தை நம்ம எடுத்துகிட்டு போகணும். அந்த ப்ராசஸை டீகோட் பண்ணி சொல்ல முடியுமா?
It all comes from consumer insight. Knowing your consumer, and now you have the power of data also on top of it.
Okay.
By the way,
okay,
so people say that data teams don't talk to creative teams don't talk to data teams. I think the new age is where both teams actually work symbiotically, and I feel creative people are data people and data people can be creative people, right? So that's the power that we have today.
Okay.
So having a great consumer insight and taking it to the market or taking it to, and especially in the digital or social world, right, it can be very, very interesting. Studying the trends, taking a consumer insight and finding a smart way of bringing the trends and the consumer insight together could be a fantastic way of building a beautiful creative campaign. But I also feel that today it can become a lot easier to do that if creative and data teams open up their minds to say that they can actually work with each other in a way that creative people very quickly recognize the data trends, and the data people actually identify patterns and work with creative people to ride the wave of what how the market is going and how the industry is going.
Okay.
Right. So
உங்க ஜர்னில ஏதாவது ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுக்க முடியுமா மேம்?
I would refer to some of the newer campaigns that we have done, right? Where we have really used a consumer insight. Okay. முன்னெல்லாம் கன்சூமர் இன்சைட் வந்த அப்புறம் ஸ்கிரிப்ட் எழுதி அந்த மாதிரி மாடல் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி அந்த மாதிரி வீடியோ ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ணி the final output எப்படி வருதுன்னு தெரியாம you'll always be like in some sort of anxiety. Okay. But the most recent campaign that we built is for Amway's artistry product.
Okay.
The entire campaign we built using AI. The launch actually, you should also go and see. We built the entire campaign using AI.
Okay.
We want to show a woman in her 40s, we wanted to show a woman in her 20s, we wanted to show a woman in her 30s. We were able to build all of this using AI. We wanted to actually talk about how the product helps you at every step of the way. That entire journey we were able to creatively build using AI.
Okay.
We were able to build great music, or jingles which can help the product stay sticky in your head, also assisted by AI.
Okay.
So all of this came together for us in less than a month, which otherwise can take a very, very long time. Right. So again, it's been the first ever perhaps in the history of this brand where AI has been used to deliver an entire campaign.
ஓகே. ஸோ இப்போ ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க, பட் அது குளோபலாக வந்து நம்ம ரீச் பண்ணணும்னா என்னென்ன ஸ்டெப்ஸ் வந்து ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறாங்க அப்படி இருக்கும்?
See, there's no substitute to going physically, wrecking the market, understanding the market. Any new market requires a lot of time and emotional investment.
Okay.
Okay, especially if you're doing it as a solo entrepreneur, the way I have done it. Okay, there are other ways of doing it. If you have, if you raise money, you have enough funds, you can acquire smaller companies in the same domain, complementing companies, which can help forward, backward integrate, etc. But the way I have done it so far, as I have gone and I have spent time in those markets, build relationships in those markets, and I've done a ground up journey. So every market that you want to enter requires an emotional investment, and a conviction to want to go into the market for certain reasons. Like, in some markets we are able to create a breakthrough very quickly because maybe the market doesn't have the required talent, right? In some other markets, maybe we have a price advantage.
Okay.
So there'll be different reasons why you can go into the market with different services or products that you have.
Okay.
But going into those markets and spending time in that market to build that market is important. That being said, I feel like, again, today, globe is your market. A lot of things. Right now we're serving a client in Kenya, for example. We are very likely to start serving a client in Georgia now. So all of this has happened primarily through the network of people that I have met along the way while I was studying or through business, etc. So I think that having a great network, and like I went to Harvard. One of the reasons why I went to Harvard is because it opened up my mind to one, the possibilities that exist in the world, and also to people, who are from these different markets.
Okay.
So while initially I may have spent time in each market to understand the market and grow that market, now the process becomes slightly easier for me because of one, the digital reach that we have, and two, the network that I have across all of these countries.
Okay. ஸோ இனிஷியலி நீங்கள் சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க நிறையா எனக்கு வந்து மல்டிபிள் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருந்துச்சு, எல்லாமே நான் ட்ரை பண்ணி பார்க்குறப்போ ஐ பிக் த பெஸ்ட் அவுட் ஆஃப் இட் அண்ட் மேட் திஸ் கம்பெனி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ அப்போ 22 இயர்ஸில் நீங்கள் ஜேர்னி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க. அப்போ இருந்த சௌமியாவுக்கும் இப்போ ஒரு ஃபவுண்டராக இருக்கிற சௌமியாவுக்கும் என்னென்ன டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்குது, என்னென்ன ஸ்கில்ஸ் வந்து அந்த ஜேர்னியில் நீங்கள் கற்றுட்ருக்கீங்க?
Oh, I think I'm a very different person today.
Okay.
What skills have I learned and what I think I have learned to have equanimity. I think that's fundamental to me. Modalana konjam, if anything goes wrong with your plan, right? We didn't have the maturity to know that in the larger scheme of things, everything is okay. So ipo and the maturity vandirudhu. So I don't get I don't stress myself. I don't in fact, at the organization level, like, there are two things that drive me. One is staying happy. For me, no matter what you're doing in life, and this is something that I'm taking as a culture to the whole organization as well, is that staying happy is the most important thing for me, whatever you're doing, because if you've come into this world, as a human being, the best service you can do to your life is to stay happy and stay stress free. That I learned. I wasn't like that. I learned the importance of staying happy along the way.
Okay.
So that's one. And the second thing is to know that, look at life as an infinite game. There'll be highs, there'll be lows, right? But in an infinite game, like, okay, infinite game, for example, would be, cricket viladina, you play to win or lose. Video games, you'll just move from one level to another, right? That's an infinite game, right? So in an infinite game, there'll be wins and there'll be losses, but you will still continue to be in the game. The only thing that's important for you is to stay in the game, right? So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் வந்த அப்புறம் then nothing stresses you.
Okay.
Nothing stresses
There
you.
will be no targets, நம்ம அதை achieve பண்ணனும்.
Correct. The only target is to be happy.
Okay.
And then go through that journey, have that purpose, that's your guiding principle.
Okay.
So it's like joy is my fuel and purpose is my driving force. That's how I look at life. That's how my journey has taken me.
That's so nice. But இந்த ஜேர்னியில் ஏதாவது ஒரு ரிக்ரெட் இருக்கும்ல, எப்படி பிஸ்னஸ் பீப்புள் ஆஸ் தட். ஏன்னா வந்து அந்த 2 ரோடு நம்ம கிராஸ் ரோட்ஸ் மீட் பண்ணுறப்ப மேபி இதுக்கு நம்ம போயிருக்கலாமோ, அந்த டிசிஷன் நம்ம போய் எடுத்துருக்கலாமோன்னு ஒரு தாட் ப்ராசஸ் இருக்கும். அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது நீங்கள் அண்டர்கோ பண்ணியிருக்கீங்களா?
That will always be there.
Okay, any one regret?
I don't have any regrets.
Okay.
No, whatsoever. Because who am I to say if I had taken that decision, then it would have turned up. Okay, it would have turned up differently for me.
Okay,
how do I know
that?
Yeah, I don't know that, right? So I have zero regrets in life. I think everything I look at it only as something that enriched me from an experience perspective.
Okay, ma'am. Magic 20 Tamil is an audiobook app. நம்ம வந்து பர்சனாலிட்டி டெவலப்மெண்ட் புக்ஸ் எல்லாமே நம்ம சம்மரியாக கொடுக்குறோம். அண்ட் ஃபார் யூ கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் நிறைய புக்ஸ் படித்து உங்களை என்ரிச் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ரொம்பவே ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருந்திருக்கும்னு. ஸோ நீங்கள் படித்த புக்ஸில் விச் இன்ஸ்பயர்ட் யூ டு பி as a better person, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற புக்ஸ் வந்து சொல்ல முடியுமா?
Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda.
Okay.
That's one. And then there's another book by Vishen Lakhiani, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. Okay. So it's a brilliant book. It basically, like, when I spoke to you about shifting the way you think, this has tools for you to shift the way you think.
Okay.
So it's a brilliant book that everybody who's aiming to be an entrepreneur should read. I mean, others should also read, but anyone who's
specifically who wants to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay. And the other book?
Paramahansa Yogananda's Autobiography of a Yogi.
Okay. Everything is kind of spiritually connected.
Yes. When you read that book, you'll see that you actually can create magic. You will see that you have the power to create the magic. Then questions and anxieties and can I do this, etc. will not occur to you.
That's so nice, ma'am. And it was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Kandipa business pathiyo sari, incubators, the market trends, and especially spirituality. First time நான் வந்து கேள்விப்பட்டேன் as an entrepreneur saying. And thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.